Okay. Good morning. Today is October 15, 2024, and we are here to conduct private conference of 5 civil works, namely 2480-0115, 2580-0012, 2580-0014, 2580-0018, and 2580-0019. Before we begin, may I ask Jen to lead us the prayer. Let's all stand.
Let us pray. In the form of the Holy Spirit. Dear God, as we come together today, we give you thanks for the good gifts you give us. We ask for your guidance in our lives, and we pray that your love would live amongst us. Father,
Thank you, Jen. May I ask Jen Toquero to acknowledge the presence of everybody.
Thank you, sir. So before we proceed for the scheduled procurement activity for today, may I acknowledge first the presence of our back chairperson, Engineer P.O.R. Perilla, sir. Back Vice Chairperson, Mr. Aaron James Gabuat. Back Provisional Members, Engineer Maria Grace Gragasin, and Engineer Dominador Domino Jr. Sir.
For members of the back, including yours truly, and we have a quorum. So let's continue.
Thank you, sir. So may I acknowledge also the presence of my fellow TWG members, Engineer Brian Jeffrey Chua, Engineer Macy Pearl Agigam, Engineer Melissa Aguilar, and yours truly, Ivy Christine Toquero. Back Secretariat, Engineer Mia May Asuncion, Miss Maribel Umipig, Miss Bernardine Perilla, for the proposal agenda.
construction of elementary and secondary classrooms, Candon South Central School, Barangay San Isidro, Candon, Ilocos Sur. The scope of works are the following: earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishing and other civil works, electrical and mechanical. The ABC of this is 12,437,500 Annato, peanut, corn, and other high-value crops processing center, Sugpon, Ilocos Sur. The scope of works is the rehabilitation, reconstruction, upgrading of road, and road slope protection structures. The ABC of this is 9,800,000 other projects. For the next project, having contract ID number of 2580-0012, construction, improvement of access roads leading to declared tourism destination, Tourism Road Infrastructure Program, TRIP, Cervantes-Sigay Road leading to Tirad Pass via Barangay Libang, Cervantes, Ilocos Sur. Scope of works are construction of concrete road, construction of road slope protection, with an approved budget for the contract of 14,700,000 pesos. Source of fund is NEP FY 2025, having a contract duration of 102 calendar days. For the next projects, may transfer to Engineer Brian, please.
For project with contract ID 2580-0014 BIP, access roads and or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, construction of San Nicolas-Paypayad Road, Barangay San Nicolas, and Barangay Paypayad, Candon City, Ilocos Sur. Scope of works are construction of Portland cement, concrete pavement, and construction of drainage and slope protection structure. Approved budget for the contract 9 9,900,000 pesos. The source of fund, SNEP, FY 2025. The contract duration of 55 calendar days. For the contract ID 25AD0019 BIP, flood mitigation structures protecting public infrastructure facilities, construction of Tamurong Katerman flood control structure, Barangay Tamurong and Barangay Katerman, Candon City, Ilocos Sur. The scope of works includes earthworks including excavation and embankment, scour protection works using steel sheet piles, bank slope protection works using concrete slope protection. The approved budget for the contract is 29,700,000. The source of fund, SNEP, FY 2025, with a contract duration of 146 calendar days. I transfer to Engineer Ivy Christine Toquero.
Thank you, sir. So for the technical requirements, updated and current PhilJEP's registration. To bid for this contract, a contractor must submit first, register with the DPWH Civil Works application at the DPWH Procurement Service, 5th floor, DPWH Building, Bonifacio Drive, Port Area, Manila, while those already registered shall keep their records current and updated. Contractors' eligibility to bid will be determined through electronic evaluation using the DPWH contract profile eligibility process for Class A documents as per DPWH Procurement Manual 2016 and DO number 117 series of 2017 and under Section 23.1 of the revised IRR of RA 9184. Bidders shall likewise submit their bids through their duly authorized liaison officers as listed in the contractor's information of their CRC. The prospective bidder must have completed an SLCC that is similar to the contract to be bid and whose value adjusted to current prices using the PSA Consumer Price Indices must be at least 50% of the ABC to be bid, provided, however, that contractors under small b and small a categories without similar experience on the contract to be bid may be allowed to bid if the cost of such contract is not more than the allowable range of contract costs of the registration based on the guidelines as prescribed by the PCAB. Contractors are required to submit the original receipt for payment of bidding documents before dropping of bids. For joint venture agreement, prospective bidders or contractors are required to submit, include in their bid special PCAB license and duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners, stating that they will enter into the abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance that their bid is successful and furnish copies of said documents to the BAC prior to submission of bids needed for eligibility processing. For the key personnel required, project manager, number of personnel 1, total experience in years is 3 years, and same position in similar works is 3 years. Provisional project engineer, number of personnel 1, total experience 3 years. Same position in similar works, 3 years. Accredited Materials Engineer 1, number of personnel, 1. Total experience, 2 years. Same position in similar works, 2 years. For Construction Foreman, number of personnel, 1. For total experience and same in position, similar works, is none. That substitution of proposed key personnel is allowed, provided the following requirements are met. The key personnel can be pulled out or substituted from an ongoing under the conditions set in DO number 9 series of 2012, technical requirements for civil works projects for public bidding, which states, among others, If proposed key personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the same time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that the personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract, and he or she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of implementing office. The bidder may propose a key personnel who is not its employee, provided that the said personnel is required to submit a certification that he or she will work for the bidder if it is awarded the contract under bidding. For the major equipment requirements can be downloaded or checked on the bidding documents. The proof of ownership of equipment requirements are copies of current LTO, official receipt or OR, and certificate of registration or CR of the equipment, which should be attached together with the affidavit of ownership. In case of leased equipment, a lease contract and affidavit of commitment should be submitted with the lessor or owner as the pledger of the equipment, stating therein that the equipment will be available for the whole duration of the project. The purchase agreement, the description of the equipment to be purchased, such as brand, model, type of equipment, motor number, body number, and the capacity must be indicated in the document. Otherwise, the BAC will not honor the purchase agreement and the bidder will be declared as non-compliant. Likewise, list of contractors' major equipment units pledged to be used for the project must be supported by proof of ownership if it is owned, lease agreement if it is being leased, and purchase agreement if it is to be purchased. A certification of availability of equipment for the duration of the project must also be provided by the equipment owner and/or lessor or vendor. Prospective bidders, contractors are likewise required for the inclusion of the minimum materials testing equipment in the technical component of the bid, in compliance with DEO number 11 series of 2017, superseding the DEO number 80 series of 1990, and all other issuances. All documents in support of the ownership of equipment pledge and other documents photocopied from the original shall be legibly readable and will be authenticated as needed during the post-qualification process. Corollary, DO number 58 series of 2012 dated August 29, 2012 further provides the inclusion of material data on the pledged equipment of a bidders by requiring all bidder or contractor to fully comply with the contract minimum equipment requirements as prescribed in the bid documents. A complete technical description of their pledged equipment, whether owned or leased, such as but not limited to the engine number, year model, chassis number, plate number, production and load capacity, availability, and operating condition. In addition, bidders were also required to state in their bid documents the particular place or site where the equipment are located as provided for under DO number 9 series of 2012, that failure to comply with the said requirements shall result in the bidder's automatic post-disqualification for award and forfeiture of its bid security. For the items of work of each project can be downloaded and checked on the bidding documents as well. So for the financial requirements, financial proposal must comply with the following requirements. First, bid form must be in accordance with the form prescribed in Section 9 bidding forms. Second, summary of bid prices. Third, bid prices in the bill of quantities. Fourth, detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up the bid. And fifth, quarterly cash flow and payment schedule. That in the case of discrepancies between bid prices in figures and in words, the latter shall prevail. Total price per item and unit price per the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item, the latter shall prevail. The stated total price and the actual sum of prices of component items, the latter shall prevail. Unit cost in the detailed estimate and unit cost in the bill of quantities, the latter shall prevail. Required bid security, required performance security, verification of or confirmation of bid securities or performance securities or carry, omnibus sworn statement by the prospective bidder of its authorized representative in the form prescribed by the GPPB. That a sworn statement in accordance with Section 25.3 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184 using the form prescribed in Section 9. Bidding forms must be complied. That the 9 items could be present in just one sworn statement. Omnibus sworn statement. If at time of the post-qualification procedure, the BAC verifies that any of the deficiencies is due to the contractor's fault or negligence pursuant to Section 34.3 BEEF of the 2016 revised IRR, the procuring entity shall disqualify the contractor from the award without any right to reimburse fees and incidental costs paid for the procurement of infrastructure contract subject of the bid. In consonance with DO number 127 series of 2018 with subject strict application of RA 9184 in the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH, and further the contractor shall adhere to the provisions of Section 4.2, Appendix 17 of 2016 RA 9184. Possible causes of failure of bidding, conflict of interest. All bidders must found to have conflict of interest shall be disqualified to participate in the procurement at hand. A bidder may be considered to have conflict of interest with another bidder in any of the events described in the paragraphs through as stated in the instruction to bidders, clause 4.1 particularly, which states that a bidder has a relationship directly or through third parties that puts them in a position to have access to information about or influence on the bid of another bidder. Other pertinent issues, issuances. Lowest calculated responsive bidder should submit the following requirements to stated in the notice of award. 3-strike policy of the department and procedure schedule. Please take note that the submission of the bids on or before 10 a.m. of October 28, 2024. So that's all for the 5 projects. May I transfer to our back chairperson, sir?
Thank you, Ivy. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, our activity is adjourned. Thank you for coming.